Indian soldiers foiled an overnight Pakistani attempt to infiltrate through the international border in Jammu and Kashmir. These images show how, on your screens right now, these are the images on how in the dead of the night, terrorists tried to enter into the Indian territory and how the border security forces responded with deadly precision. In a major operation in the Samba sector, the border security force killed at least 7 terrorists during an infiltration bid on the intervening night of 8th and 9th May. And the attempt was reportedly backed by Pakistani rangers posted at Dandahar, who tried to provide covering fire for the infiltrators, but they were stopped in their tracks. Union Minister of State Jitendra Singh quoted BSF and said major infiltration bid foiled by BSF on 8th and 9th May 2025 at the IB in Samba district, and at least 7 terrorists were killed and extensive damage caused to the Pakistani post. The forces are on high alert and residents living near the international border are being asked to evacuate. Jitendra Singh said that the evacuation is being carried out smoothly with free transport and full administrative support. And for more on this, a special correspondent, Idris Loan, is now joining us live from Srinagar. Idris, like what we're also learning, while Pakistan launched the swarms of drones at India, 7 infiltrators tried to enter India through the Samba sector in Jammu. Tell us more about how this infiltration bid has been foiled by the border security forces.
Well, Resha, it was exactly the same time when there were at least 4 ceasefire violations from the Pakistani side, and also the drone attacks all over the Jammu city. That is the time in Samba sector, the border security forces saw suspicious movement near the line of control, international border, where a group of terrorists was trying to infiltrate into Jammu and Kashmir. This was recorded on camera through the thermal imaging, and all these 7 infiltrators were neutralized by the border security forces right there on the border itself. The Pakistani army was giving a cover. That's one of the reasons that we also saw the ceasefire violation in Samba sector also at the very same time. They were giving them the cover basically to engage the Indian armed forces at the line of control, and so that the infiltrators can get an easy access and pass into Jammu and Kashmir. But that attempt was foiled by the border security forces. We also saw the ceasefire violations taking place across various places in Jammu as well as in the northern part of Kashmir, like Kupwara, Baramulla and Uri and Akhnur sector in the Jammu division. We've also seen in the earlier times, Raisha, that whenever there has been a ceasefire violation, especially during the spring season, when the snow starts melting from these higher reaches and the passes open, that is the time when the infiltration bids are increase, and that is when Pakistan also Pakistani army tries to give a cover to these terrorist groups to infiltrate into Kashmir so that they can engage with the Indian armed forces at the same time. And that's exactly what happened last night at around 9 o'clock when this group of terrorists was trying to infiltrate into Kashmir, but it was foiled, and all other attacks, the drone attacks, were foiled as well, and so did the ceasefire violation on the northern part of Kashmir. That was the Indian army also gave a befitting reply to that ceasefire violation too.
Right, Idris. Thanks very much for joining us and getting us the latest from Srinagar. Well, joining us right now on the broadcast is Air Vice Marshal Manmohan Bahadur, experimental test pilot, former Assistant Chief of Air Staff and ex-ADG Center for Air Power Studies. Thank you so much for being here with us today, Air Vice Marshal Bahadur.
Thank you. Thank you for getting me on the program.
Right. Now, Vice Marshal Bahadur, you were here with us yesterday as well, and you clearly said that you have worked here in Jammu during your tenure. The infiltration bid that we're seeing in the Samba sector in Jammu, talk to us about how this attempt was foiled and what are the logistics that are involved, because we do know that Pakistan was giving a cover while the terrorists tried to enter India through the Samba sector.
This is standard operating procedure when they try and push infiltrators across the line of control. They give them covering fire. They create distractions somewhere so that these infiltrators are able to get through. Yesterday, it must have been a special attempt because at the same time, if you remember, the drones, the drone attack on right up from Jammu down south happened. So while we were busy with engaging the drones and all the fireworks that were happening, they possibly thought that this is the right time to go through. But it's good that the BSF was ready and was doing its duty in terms of making sure that nobody comes in. So with the night vision equipment that they have, and your video that you showed is basically of a night vision device, they managed to stop them.
Right, Air Vice Marshal Bahadur, right now what we're seeing is Pakistan attacking India, Indian cities, locations with drones. But in a conventional war, what is the threshold?
Throughout the day, it's almost going to be 24 hours, give or take another few hours, that things have been quiet. So it's pretty sure, I am pretty sure that things are happening in the background. The diplomacy is working. The talks must be going on. Maybe the DGMOs are talking or the politicians are talking, such that we have had this almost 20-hour gap of any activity either from our side or from their side. So a conventional war does not start just like that, because when you're talking of a conventional war, it is activation of your complete armed forces. People move out from headquarters, people move out from their peace locations to staging areas, and from staging areas to their op locations, that is the army. The Air Force flying units move to their operational air bases. The naval ships go to their positions wherever they're supposed to go. So it's a massive effort that happens, involves a lot of logistics, a lot of money that goes out in terms of manpower and the fuel and other things that happen, fair wear and tear that happens. So it's not a very simple decision for any country to say, okay, let's just launch a war against any other country.
Right.
So it takes time. It takes a lot of political thinking and interaction with the adversary. And when things break down, when talks break down, when diplomacy breaks down, and as it is breaking down, then in that phase you would see activity happening in terms of recalling of people, cancellation of leave, and things like movement of units. That's when you know that something serious is going to happen. So it's a process that takes place. It just doesn't happen overnight.
Right. I also want to seek your assessment. If you can perhaps explain to us the background and the professional aspect in which India thwarted the swarms of drones that were targeted at the Indian cities and locations from Pakistan yesterday.
Oh, it was a real good show by our air defense setup. I don't know whether I explained it yesterday or not, but just to repeat it, there's no harm. You know, the Air Force is responsible for the air defense of the country. The Union War Book says that it is the IAF's responsibility. So we have got an integrated air command and control system, which is computerized and linked. It's networked with all the radars, Army, Navy, Air Force, civilian radars also, that are networked into this system. And this system also connects to operational bases, to Army units, to the naval units, and we get an overall picture of the air situation as it is developing. So last night, when the drones started coming in, starting from the Jammu area, Rajouri Jammu area, and then slowly went downwards towards Jalandhar, Jaisalmer, and Bhuj also, I think. So this picture would have painted, and through the IACCS, the most effective weapon system would have been given the go-ahead to fire. Now, yesterday, I don't think any of our air assets were in the air. So what happens in an air defense setup, the ground-based weapon systems, they are held tight. It's called guns tight. Means they are not cleared to fire because our aircraft or our assets may be transiting the airspace. But when there is a threat developing and you have none of your assets in the air in that sector, the guns are made free. It's called guns free. That means you hit whatever you see or whatever you see on your scope or visually or hearing. So last night, to my understanding, it was guns free, and we let go everything that we had on all the projectiles that were coming in from across the LOC. And it's to the credit of all the elements that have gone into the surface air, the radars, includes the Indra radar, which is indigenous, the integrated radars of each weapon system, the Shilka guns, the L-70s, which are with the Army, the Spider missile system, which is imported from Israel, and of course the bigger one, which is S-400. Right. I doubt whether S-400 would have been used because it's costly, and to take on a small 2 meter by 2 meter target, there are other weapon systems to take care of.
Right. Right, Air Vice Marshal Bahadur, thank you so much for joining us here on WION and sharing your insights with us.
Thank you.